Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and yeah, we finally have news. Creative Assembly have dropped a rather large video with some information regarding Total War Warhammer 3's future, confirming a bunch of stuff for the next DLC and also just some stuff for the future. Now, some of the information was provided to us prior, but not the whole video, so what we're going to do is the usual stuff, where we're going to watch the video, stop at different parts, and just break down the analysis there, give my thoughts, my feelings regarding the situation, but I'm feeling fairly positive after a discussion with Creative Assembly yesterday. So without further ado, let's begin.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve Coleman, Senior Community Manager here in the Total War team, and I'm here today to talk to you, along with some of the development team, wonderful developers here, look at these people, beautiful faces, about the what's next for Total War Warhammer 3, as well as a little look at the future vision for the franchise as well. Now, we are endeavouring to be more open and transparent with you guys with everything that we're doing at the moment. So this is a new format that we haven't tried before. We'd love to know your comments and your thoughts about how it's gone, what you think we could do better, so that we can make these videos even more fun and informative for you in the future. But without further ado, let's do some introductions. So, Rich, do you want to take us away? Who are you and what do you do?
Who am I? I'm Rich Aldridge. I'm the game director for the Total War Warhammer series. I've been doing this for quite a while now, at least the last 10 years or so. It's crazy how time's flown by, but I love it. It's been fantastic listening to all your feedback over that course of time, developing the series, getting in your favourite factions and characters, and we've got loads more to still add.
I'm Sean MacDonald, lead designer on the Warhammer DLC team. I've been here a meagre 6 years compared to Rich's 10. I'd led the Champions of Chaos, Chaos Dwarves and Thrones of Decay, and I'm looking forward to leading on this project again.
So I'm Victor, I'm from Sofia. I'm here now in Khorne to talk to you about Warhammer and more specifically Khorne. I've been friend of the project for a while, Rich, we've been working together, so I'm here.
It's great to have you aboard, and yeah, lots of collaboration going forward on Warhammer.
Alright, so we get the first stop over here, and it already confirms that the rumours are true. CA Sofia are going to be working on Total War Warhammer DLC. This is something that I've been talking about since I've been hearing these rumours for about a month and a half now. This is actually quite good. If you guys aren't aware, CA Sofia, the people behind Total War Pharaoh and Total War Troy, the DLCs for Troy were actually very good, introducing a bunch of new mechanics which were slowly being introduced into Total War Warhammer. We saw that with the Chaos rework and so on. So it's good to see devs from that studio are slowly creeping in. It's good to see them on Warhammer.
So we'll jump in with a big question. What is the vision and ethos for Total War Warhammer 3 moving forward?
Well, I think a lot of that has to come down to the fact that you've given us so much important and impactful feedback over, well, I mean, since I've started on the project way back, but more recently, you know, your thoughts on Thrones of Decay. So what we want to do is continue in that mold, continue in that shape, and keep providing you the opportunity, the variety, the options of how you want to purchase Warhammer content moving forward. And that might be like an individual pack, something smaller like you saw with, say, Malachi, or the complete bundle, as you saw also with Thrones of Decay. The big news, if you like, also is that you've shown us where the importance of the game is, and that is clear from the amount of campaigns you started and battles you fought, the rest of it. It's Immortal Empire. So our next DLCs will be focused on IE specifically for our new characters and our factions.
Oh, they are doing a Immortal Empires DLC specific thing. Pretty interesting considering that, you know, they said that they weren't going to do this, but to that I respond, fucking finally! Yeah, I know, I had to bring the air horns out for that, but let's be honest, Realm of Chaos was just taking away from the stuff that people cared about. It's very obvious, they finally realized that. I can't believe it's taking them this long. However, a victory is still a victory nonetheless. Realm of Chaos, it's a good small map for what it is, but let's be honest, most of us just want to play around with a big map.
And that doesn't mean we'll stop supporting Realm of Chaos, of course. There will be a lot of bug fixing, a lot of rebalancing, a lot of making sure all the factions are still great there. But we figured out that after a while, the story of Realm of Chaos, you know, after you played it so many times, kind of becomes, you know, known to you. So we're moving to Immortal Empires being the place to be for every faction in the world.
This gives you options. Both campaigns are still there to be enjoyed and played, but yeah, we know Immortal Empires is the quintessential Warhammer experience.
One final note. Rest in piss, Realm of Chaos. After non-stop issues that campaign has literally caused this game, it's good to start seeing things moving forward.
Let's look at what we've recently revealed. The next DLC that's going to be coming and the focal points for those. I would really like it if you could tell me a little bit more about those. Maybe we can start with Ogre Kingdoms. Who wants to take that?
So, shall I start?
Yeah, go on.
Go on. Sean's got all the juicy gossip at the end. Right, so Ogre Kingdoms, that's a faction we wanted to touch and improve upon for quite some time. And we're here now, and we're really excited at what we're going to be able to do and bring and flesh them out. Because again, if I look back on my journey, your feedback has always said to me about how can you get these factions up to their fullest? How can you get all the beloved characters and units into it? And that's what we want to do with Ogre Kingdoms now. So I'm really pleased to announce today that our new legendary lord for the Ogre Kingdoms will be GOLGFAG Maneater. Yeah, he's a big hitter. He's one that's steeped in lore. I mean, I know you touched on some of the old editions there, Victor. This guy goes way back as well, and is in a variety of different editions, and even the Dogs of War army. But
honestly, that just felt like a forced on stutter during the Dogs of War thing. Either way, GOLGFAG looks amazing. I'm quite happy about that. So I'm quite happy. Yeah, I mean, he's a legendary lord everyone was kind of wanting. He did leak a while back. Makes perfect sense.
But his shtick, if you don't know, is that he loves to roam the world. He loves to go to far-flung places, being given sort of contracts and things to go and do for people. And if you've got a bag of cash, he's more than happy to take it in bolstering out his forces.
Go around the world, try different cuisine, do
Oh, yeah.
ourselves, everything incredible.
Exactly. And you know, we don't just stop with him. There'll be a plethora of new characters, and there'll be a legendary hero. But I do get to talk to you a little bit about some of the units that we'll be adding as well for the ogres, which I think are super cool. And in fact, one of them is very cool, very cold, very frosty, which is the Thunder Tusk. So that's going to have a breath effect on it, which you might come to expect, with its ogres mounted up high, shooting harpoons in the light. So a big beastie in your army to really flesh things out. There will be some other units as well, just like we've seen in Thrones of Decay, so you can expect that same shape and format again. And the other one, which, if I'm allowed, I'll talk about it now, is the Blood Vultures. So this is maybe not a unit you come to expect, because it's not a unit in the lore per se, but it's a feature for the Ogre Hunter. We wanted to give the ogres that kind of aerial capability, so they'll be joy in the fray as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, so Thunder Tusks and Blood Vultures confirmed, nothing else. They did say a legendary hero is coming, which is likely Bragg the Gutsman. But yeah, they're going to keep quiet about this stuff because it's still pretty early on. Yeah, I'm keen. Blood Vultures becoming an actual unit is going to be quite cool. I think we talked about it in a video about a month or two back. It would be kind of nice to see them and as an actual unit, give the ogres something flying and fast to move around. Thunder Tusks, I mean, iconic unit as it stands. So yeah, I mean, that's exciting. I am pleasantly surprised so far. They're not going to reveal everything right now, guys. I know you guys might be disappointed, but it's like a teaser.
Victor, tell us a bit about what's coming to Khorne.
Oh, you know what's coming. You've been requesting it in the forums. We know it. We hear you. And this has always been the case for us to want to do SKULLTAKER eventually. And here we are. We know that there's only one legendary ward in the game right now for Khorne. Of course, the second one will bring much needed variety. So this is what will be my mission, to take this character and do him justice, portray him the way he is in the lore, which, being a Khorne character, again, you know what to expect. He, if you don't know, let me tell you, he goes to collect skulls from worthy opponents. He collects all the skulls, but those that are really interesting, he adds them to his collection. He adds them to his cloak, which also adds to his power. So when he defeats a really powerful enemy, the way he does in a challenge, he goes and issues a challenge. People come to answer that call, fall beneath him, and he adds their skill to his collection, and it lets him absorb the power of that character. So the stronger the enemy, supposedly the stronger the power that he absorbs. So we can see how this could lead to some sort of more snowballing gameplay, perhaps. You don't need to be an experienced game designer like those two to imagine what the gameplay will be like. We'll be adding a few.
So they've actually been saying more or less what the mechanics are going to be for the characters. That's quite cool. I can't really comment too much on SKULLTAKER. He's a great model as it stands. He looks just like the miniature, which is a good thing, obviously. But like I've had to paint him 3 times recently, so I'm kind of SKULLTAKER'd out. I'm excited to see him as a Legendary Lord. Very curious that he's the paid Legendary Lord. I was expecting Immortal, but hey, you know, maybe they've got some other plans. Either way, it's still a cool character, it's something different. I'm just happy it wasn't another Bloodthirster, to be honest.
New units to Khorne as well. Heroes Wars you can expect. For example, there will be a great monster that Sean can tell you a bit more about.
Yeah, so we've got the Slaughter Brute on the way. So we've obviously seen the Mutilator Vortex Beast, we did Shadows of Change, and we thought, well, we need to get the less magical and mystical and far more bloody and gory and aggressive and all the classic Khorne traits in a big beastie, so we're bringing him along for the journey. So yeah, there's one to be excited.
Slaughter Brute coming in is great because, I mean, yeah, it just makes sense. It's actually, like they said, it shares the same kind of theme as the Mutilator Vortex Beast, just the opposite side of the spectrum. In the tabletop, it's literally the same box. So yeah, I'm happy about that. It's a cool looking model. I do like the design. I'm hoping it does a decent amount of damage and it's a little bit quicker than the Vortex Beast, but other than that, all good.
About.
Yeah, it's nice to add this content now to Khorne. You know, we've been through Tzeentch, we've been through Nurgle, we're now at Khorne. Don't worry, Slaanesh fans, we'll get to you as well. It's all in our great plan. Yeah, Victor's going to have a lot of fun painting the town red with this.
Yeah, you know we want to do them all. You know, we've read the books. Games Workshop has given us so much throughout the years, and if it's up to us, we'll do it all. It's just a matter of in what order, so you could definitely help us prioritize that with your, talking to us.
I love how they say, yeah, don't worry, Slaanesh fans, we'll get to you soon. I mean, it was the next one that was supposed to be in the roadmap, but okay. My only response to this is proof, bro. Where's the proof? Come on. I want to see Slaanesh stuff. Nobody wants Slaanesh content more than me, so come on. Throw me a bone or a titty.
Sean, are you going to tell us a little bit about Orcs and Goblins?
I can tell you a little bit about Orcs and
Just
Goblins.
a little bit.
Just a smidge? Just a tiny
bit.
crumb. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
enough.
Great, thanks guys. Yeah. So since Rich and Victor have told us the legendary lords are for the other cultures, we're looking at Gorbad Ironclaw for Orcs and Goblins as our big hitter. One of the most iconic and successful orcs to ever traipse through the Warhammer world. One big thing that we took from feedback on Thrones of Decay was that having the units and the roster feel attached to the lord that is representing them in the DLC is super important. So like Elspeth representing Lenormand, etc. So with Gorbad, we thought he's the perfect character to let us bring in a variety of orcs and goblins, because there's a sprinkle of orc and a sprinkle of goblin and a little bit of squig over here. And who can unify them but the single best commander that actually used strategies and used wolf riders, used squigs, used orcs and goblins all in conjunction. He's the perfect poster boy, poster orc, so that we can get the best and most exciting roster in, and some colossal beasties maybe on the journey there with him as well. Yeah.
Okay, personally, Gorbad wouldn't have been my first choice, but I'm excited nonetheless because he's got a great model. At the end of the day, it's Gorbad Ironclaw. It's a very famous orc. The hint of colossal beasties, I mean, yeah, it's the freaking colossal squig, let's be honest. And it does make sense, you know. Again, he's the everyman faction, so he's going to use a lot of everything. I'm kind of keen on this. I wonder where he'll start, though. That's actually the big interesting part. I hope it's not in the Badlands. Honestly, it would be nice if, in this case, but we'll do speculation in the future, but multiple starts for certain legendary lords, like the Changeling, and obviously Gorbad and GOLGFAG would be great.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with them. We know that Greenskins and Orcs and Goblins are in a really good state at the moment, thanks to your feedback. We've still got a few little tweaks and fixes we want to do to things like wars where we can, but as Sean said, there's just so much variety in this faction that we really want to try and get as much of this to you as soon as possible. So, maybe along the way there might be a few little sneaky surprises as well that we can drop for you.
Nice. I like surprises. Very cool.
The mention of surprises has me keen. I kind of like the idea of them keeping mum's the word on stuff, because it does actually lead to some really big surprises come the release day, or the launch day, or announce day, whatever they decide to do. And some fixes here and there. I mean, if they're going to fix up anything with the orcs other than the war issue, some unique mechanics for Grimgor and Azag would be lovely.
A big question that comes up whenever we do DLC, as I'm sure you're aware, is free content. Now, you know, we have our process where we always release some free LC alongside the DLC. What's the approach going to be with the next one? What are we able to talk about? What we've got coming?
Yeah, I think so. So we went back to the old formula on Thrones of Decay. It was quite clear that we needed to add legendary lords back in. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people still enjoy legendary heroes and they have their place, and we're still looking to continue with those. But legendary lords provide you that new experience. You know, you get to have a fresh take on things. And Epidemius, I think, was one that we all enjoyed making, and just a little twist on what he could offer. So the focus again with this content, and as we touched on earlier, with the content going forward, is Immortal Empire. So you can expect to see the character appear there, and one to get Victor very excited about is gets yet another Khorne character to add to the fray. So we're doubling down on Khorne on this one. We really want to make sure that Khorne, you know, gets to have its moment in the spotlight. And again, as I mentioned earlier, don't worry if you've got other factions that you want to see some attention to. They are going to get their time in the sun.
Okay, so Khorne Legendary Lord as the FLC. This is kind of expected. Obviously, it was very well received with Thrones of Decay, and it's going to help the monogod factions get a little bit more love. I'm expecting here Arbal, the Undefeated, considering that that's the character that I was expecting for the DLC rather than SKULLTAKER, with SKULLTAKER being the FLC. So maybe I was just wrong there. Again, I could be wrong, but that character kind of screams loudly to everyone, especially since Karanak is free also. Kind of makes sense to go, well, you know, the Fleshhound is free. What about the Lord that rides on another Fleshhound being free? So that way you can just have your Fleshhound army. I mean, that makes sense to me. It would be kind of cool. I'd be happy with anyone, really. There's not that many Khorne characters, let's be honest. Well, named Khorne characters that had models and stuff. So, yeah. Again, it would just be nice to have a mortal lord.
Very cool. I look forward to seeing the guesses and speculation across the community soon.
Please, yeah.
Awesome. So we've spoken a lot about this current content, what we're working on now, this newly announced DLC. Is there anything you can tell us about the plan moving forward for future DLCs after this one has arrived?
Yeah, so the feedback that we've had from everybody has been super useful in kind of getting us on the right path, and I think giving you the content that you want to see and experience in the game. So very much like what we've just announced here with this latest DLC, and then what we saw prior with Thrones of Decay and even Shadows of Change. We want to get, first and foremost, all those Chaos God factions out to you. So you can expect to see Slaanesh in the future. But
come on, Rich, just post one titty of Slaanesh. Come on. That's all people want. That will keep us going for a while.
But also the shape and mould as well to continue in this same vein. So offering the 3 different factions, 3 different experiences, boosting out, you know, the units and heroes and things, and offer in that regard. So yeah, that variety that you've all given us so much positive feedback on, we want to keep harnessing and creating and moving forward with.
One thing that's very interesting here is obviously Creative Assembly did publicly state a while back that DLCs would be smaller. Obviously, Thrones of Decay has sold very, very well. So it seems that they've gone, well, let's backtrack on this, which is a good thing, by the way. I like these free faction DLCs. They're very, very good because it gives something for everyone, right? If you're not interested in Malachi, you would likely be interested in No, or you would be interested in Tamokan, right? There's so much there. So I'm very, very keen that this is progressing exactly how people have been hoping for. Not gonna lie, and I'm gonna be very honest here, I was expecting Creative Assembly to shoot themselves in the foot. Because, yeah.
And then beyond that, well, you know, the Warhammer world's our oyster, so to speak. There's lots and lots of content still out there. There's factions that we haven't touched upon in quite some time, and it's kind of a reason for that. So, yeah, Vampire Count fans, don't worry, Don't worry, you'll be good. Norska fans, again, we want to come back there and address things to do with the monster hunts. Just to name a couple, my favourite is still the lizard men. If we can do something about the geomantic web, fingers crossed, Sean. We'll see. But yeah.
Okay, this makes me a little bit happier because they've mentioned, yes, they know that people are wanting stuff for the vampire counts, for Norska, and for the lizard men. This is actually quite good because normally, and let's be very clear here, nobody can say no. Creative Assembly just dig their heads into the sand. They're actively now saying, yeah, we're aware that people want this, so we're going to be looking towards it in the future. This is good. The vampire counts are in desperate need of some content. Norska, my god, are in desperate need of something. I don't know what at this point. And Lizardmen, yeah, they could do with a rework. The geomantic web is a massive problem, but that's not only the problems there. The tech tree for the Lizardmen is atrocious. None of the factions are terribly unique, barring Oxyotl. It would be nice to see some fresh air come to the Lizardmen, as they are generally quite popular.
Legacy content is super important, so if we haven't done anything in a while, just know it's in our plans. We've got a long, journey ahead of us, lots of exciting content to add to the game.
With the deepest respect, Rich, you say long journey, but there have been loads of rumours on how much is left. Some of them, are quite believable. It would have been nice to have a ballpark. I understand that in some cases you can't say it because the suits at CA are probably, more Sega, staring down the barrel and stuff. But it would have been nice to get like a bit of a ballpark.
If it exists, we would love to make it.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully one day we'll see, my beloved halflings. But let's see. No promises.
Yeah, I know you'd make everything if you could, wouldn't you?
If I could. Yeah.
No chaos got left behind.
Yep, there you go.
Not gonna lie, I'd love some halflings, and it would be kind of cool just to see as much being added in as possible. The if you could thing, makes me think that yes, there is a hard limit eventually. And yeah, I'm aware that there is a hard limit. It's one of those things that we have to be realistic about, because no game lasts forever unless you're, Blizzard and really keep wanting to milk World of Warcraft. But yeah, it would be great. That whole no God left behind thing perked my ears up because I was thinking about Malal, but that's just me thinking about random stuff. It's mostly just developers saying, don't worry, we're not going to forget about Slaanesh. And, I like the assurance 3 times in one video is quite good. But still, titties, when?
And you touched on it here as well, and we mentioned it in the development update that we did before, but looking back at the legacy content and the game as it currently is as well, I know there's a want to kind of freshen up what's already there. I don't know, Sean, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what the kind of expectations can be there?
Yeah, I can work on that one for you. So yeah, so far we've only really done bug fixing in the interim patches between our .0s. So going up to 6.0, we're planning to bring in some smaller additions as well. So things that you would normally see in a patch, including things such as like the reworks that you might expect to come with a big .0 drop. Such as like the cults, so we're going to take a look at them. And then even beyond reworking, we might try and add some new content to create some new, fresh experiences that, again, you would usually be waiting for us to drop a DLC, but we want to try and give all of the races a little bit of love if we can. And we've obviously said it's ogres, Khorne, and orcs and goblins for this one, but we know everyone's got their favourite, and we want to try and touch it across the game where we can.
So if I understood this correctly, reworks in the 0.1 and potentially 0.2 patches. That's fucking great! Holy shit, why weren't you doing this before? Right? I mean, I'm not trying to sound antagonistic here. It's more the case of like, goddamn, that sounds really fun. Because it does seem like DLC is going to be stretched out every now and then. There's going to be like, in terms of release times. So if this is going to be the case moving forward, getting some reworks, bringing fresh experiences to the game, awesome!
Yeah. So you're saying we're not just adding to the new races that are coming with the new DLC, but also to previous ones scattered here and there?
Exactly. And I think the big thing is feedback. So if you say you're missing something and you'd love to see something, we will try to bring it in where we can and make sure every single experience in the game is at that same level of quality that we strive to hit.
We enjoy it. We enjoy creating the new as much as reworking some of the old. We've been doing this for quite some time now, and to be in this position where we can go back and reimagine things, improve things, is all thanks to you in supporting the game. So yeah, please continue to send in your ideas. Maybe we can make it, maybe we can't, but there's no harm in just suggesting it to us.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that's going to be music to a lot of our players' ears as well, knowing that stuff's coming down the line. So
Win-win.
I'm going to expect to see a lot of speculation, a lot of suggestions, a lot of demands.
My only demand is please make sure everything actually works as intended. The player base and creators alike want to support this game as much as you guys want the money from us. But the big problem over the years has been you guys. I just hope that you don't forget that. I'm not trying to be a downer here, I'm just trying to be realistic. Remember that people want to support the title.
Is there anything already that we can say about when this DLC is likely to be arriving?
The team is hard at work, we're having fun working on it. I hope you will have fun as well when it comes out. When?
Yeah, well, we've got plenty more to do, plenty more skulls to be reaped, lots of meat to be taken, and some big wars to be generated. So we're looking at the back end of the year.
Yeah, these projects are quite big. I mean, Thrown to the K style DLCs, they take a long time to make sure we hit that right quality level, which is why we're so intent on making sure the patches hit and keep the game alive. We don't want to go a long period where it can feel stagnant, and that's why we're looking to do these reworks and these additional contents in the interim.
All right, end of the year. Okay, not ideal. I was expecting something around August. I think most of the player base was too, but they used the excuse of it takes a while to make these DLCs. So this just kind of makes sense. Obviously, CA Sofia being involved now that we've just found it. Well, we've just had it confirmed. It's likely they pivoted from some original ideas. I mean, we do know that the Slaanesh DLC has changed. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. If they're going to take their time and it's good, that's the most important thing. That's literally the most important thing. I can wait and be happy as long as we don't have something that's broken and not another Shadows of Change debacle. We're going to keep getting patches and stuff and reworks and apparently in between. That's great. Overall, I think that this is a good way forward, and hopefully, everything works as intended. Because Creative Assembly do sometimes, unfortunately, say we're hoping to do this and then it never happens. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because they're putting faces there. They basically confirmed a bunch of stuff. Some things must be moving along quite well if they're already showing off GOLGFAG, the Thunder Tusk, and so on. So, yeah, let's hope for the best. What I do want to say is I do like this situation of, putting the faces out. I think it's good to see devs up there. It's like the old rally point stuff, but a bit more structured, obviously a bit more scripted. This is definitely a lot more scripted. But, yeah, this is great. I'm fairly surprised with the news. No roadmap, which was kind of expected. I kind of gave up with the idea of a roadmap, even though they said it was coming. But if we're going to get info dumps like this, I think this is going to be good for the community. Here's hoping for the best. I can say I'm perfectly content with this. I was expecting to be a little bit worried, especially the name that they decided for the for the video. What's next and stuff like that. It made me think of 3 Kingdoms, and I've been a little bit anxious until they told us a little bit about it yesterday. But yeah, I'm happy that they didn't shoot themselves again. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.
Thank you for joining us for our Total War Warhammer 3 development update today. In terms of our next communications, we're going to be looking at coming back to you hopefully around late summer with an update on what we're working on. In the meantime, keep coming to us with your feedback, letting us know what your thoughts on especially things like this format. This is new for us. This is a new thing that we've done. We'd love to know what you thought about it. We really want to make these videos as fun and informative for you as we can. And your feedback helps us to do that. From all of us here at CA and the Total War team, thank you and bye.
Enjoy.